How appropriate that Notre Dame kicks off spring practice on St. Patrick's Day. It's beautiful. I love it. It's just great to have any football to talk about. So now that we've had a couple days of spring practice, sitting back, looking at everything that's going on, what's been reported, you got to keep in mind how limited access is to these practices. A lot of it's who's out there, who's not out there, some warm-ups. It is what it is. But I still think there's some basic major storylines that need to be given some attention to detail here as we focus on the spring practice sessions. So I'm going to go over 5 of them that trigger in my mind or things I'm thinking about, looking at. These are things other people who do Notre Dame media are also highlighting. There just seems to be some common themes. So as we get into this, let's look at 5 specific areas of interest as we're in the early phases of Notre Dame spring football. Here's number 1. Opportunities are available for everybody. Everybody involved with this operation has an opportunity here this spring. The coaches, they have an opportunity to learn each other, learn their roles, learn their players in a way. Listen, they've been trying to do that from the moment Freeman and the staff were finalized until now. Once you could get on the field, it's a different level, being able to see where everybody's at, what they could do, what they can't do, where they need to improve, all that. So this is an opportunity for everybody, including Marcus Freeman, to feel his way out through these initial practices. As I've stated before, the other reason I like this spring session and a lot of new staff is nobody already should have it in their mind, their spot's safe, I know I got all this playing time. No, it shouldn't be that way. There's new eyeballs all over. Everybody should be out to prove themselves and earn their playing time. I like that piece of motivation added into this dynamic, okay? The other thing with opportunities is there are a handful of guys that are probably going to be starters that are out for the spring nursing injuries. That's an opportunity. That's at one more level, a guy underneath that starter's bumping up and getting more reps in the spring. Prove yourself. Prove yourself and earn some meaningful snaps against Ohio State. So I think that is very useful in a practical way as well. Unfortunately, Aiden Kenyanana, I hope I'm saying his last name right, popped an ACL. Hate it. Hate it. It's just brutal. It's just, those are injuries. You never know. So we hope he gets better as quickly as possible. But my overall point is, this is a moment of opportunity for everybody involved to prove themselves. They could take on more responsibility. Players, staff, assistant coaches, all the way up to the head coach who's feeling his way through his first spring session as the head guy. Okay, early enrollees, beautiful. Claim some snaps. Play well enough that nobody could say, oh, he's a freshman, we can't trust him to play at Ohio State week 1. Make enough plays in the spring, you're going to get to make plays in the fall. So everybody involved here has a golden opportunity. Speaking of golden, we'll get to him in a minute. He's a part of this as well. Okay? Opportunity. Claim yours. Here's number 2. And this number 2 makes me a little uncomfortable, and it's probably not fair. Number 2 is the quarterback competition. Okay? Or the media needing to make this a quarterback competition to make that part of the article interesting or whatever. I'm just not into this. I'm not into this. I'm just not. So I think there's a dynamic in my mind where, in my opinion, Tyler Buchner has more physical upside once he gets more established in this offense than Drew Pine. Maybe that's not fair. Maybe my judgment's clouded. I don't know. But that's how I see it. So to me, when I see quarterback competition, I almost just want Buckner to clearly be the guy. We build it all around him, and there isn't this half-ass competition thing going on. Okay? He's got the higher upside, in my opinion, athletically. That's where I think this is headed. The division of reps of what we've heard in the early spring sessions represent that. I'm just not that into the idea of this competition thing. I would be if there was two guys that I thought were borderline, like, great, then fine, go for it. But I don't think that's where we're at. So I get that it sells magazines and gets clicks when you put Notre Dame quarterback competition. I want it to be Buckner's role because he's got the obvious high upside, build an offense around him, and off we go. That's what I want. Now, here's the part that I feel guilty about because I don't believe it's fair, but it's where I'm at emotionally. I want this to be the plan with Buckner and building out an offense that caters to his strengths the most that we can. I would be lying if I didn't also say I have my eyes on whatever the next quarterback coming in here can compete and play right away. In a real quarterback competition when he comes in as a freshman. That's what's on my mind and heart. And that might be inappropriate. I might be selling Tyler Buckner short just because I haven't seen him running the full offense, full scale, able to throw the ball around, do all that. So this quarterback dynamic makes me uncomfortable. I don't feel it's fair for me to have my eyes at a freshman in a future class that hasn't even committed yet, and I have my eyes on him winning this job the following year. That's inappropriate of me. But it's kind of where my mind and heart is and where I want this to go. Bring in a guy this next year, and then you have a true quarterback competition. Hopefully, with guys that have elite traits that you could see clearly. So, it's my opinion, if this is really a competition, I don't like that going into this year. I think Buckner's the high upside guy out of what we have. I'm uncomfortable framing this as a competition in that way. And I'm just not into it. I don't know how else to say it. It's bothering me. I'm uncomfortable having this discussion. I'm just not that into it. The whole competition idea. Because I don't see guys that are ready to be elite competing. So, whatever. But this is making me uncomfortable with this quarterback stuff. All right? Build an offense around the guy with the highest upside you have and then let it rip. That's the best we could do this year. Get an elite guy in here behind that can compete right away to next year. That's my plan in an ideal scenario or a winning scenario because that's what you're going to need to win. Here's number 3. Al Golden's vision for the defense. It seems like it's going to be a blend between what Marcus Freeman is and his established ideas and then Al Golden coming in and tweaking some of that. He's been out of the college game a while. How's that all going to look and come together? Big question that I have. Secondary, top of mind, okay? Cam Hart, then what? Lewis, Bracey, Barnes, Riley, Tucker, Mickey. I don't care who it is. I need somebody that can defend passes and be physical. Okay? Safety, Joseph, then Henderson, Watts, Brown, Griffith, whatever. I don't care the name. I need guys to make plays in the game. Okay? So, when I look at this defense, without a doubt, secondary is my biggest question mark, the biggest thing that I think can hold us back from reaching our goals and dreams this year. So I'm going to end up being fairly comfortable with the defensive line rotation, and I think the linebackers and linebacker depth as well. This secondary is my chief and primary red flag concern about this operation. I don't have enough guys there that are proven that I trust. That's always going to cause somebody like me anxiety. There are plays to be made, opportunities, snaps to be earned early next year. Who wants them? Who wants them? Go get them. All right? So that's my primary concern when we're addressing the defense. Here's number 4. Number 4 is an issue that I'm excited about. What is going to be the running back plan? Here's why I like this dynamic. Given that we have some question marks at wide receiver, which we're going to get to in this discussion, I see this running back group being the one that could make this offense dangerous in a major way, and if used properly, take some pressure off the wide receiving room that we know we're all kind of uncomfortable with as we sit. So, what I see here is Diggs, Estime, Tyree, J.D. Price, maybe Sebo's not with the program out. But of those other guys, I like that I see that they have different skill sets that can all be used to maximize the output of this offense. So what I want to see is figure out the right blend of usage between these guys that makes you the most dangerous and causes the most issues for a defense to have to think about. If they do that right, this running back group can be dynamic and it could change what's capable of this offense. I just see a lot of potential with these guys all bringing slightly different skill sets to the offense. Diggs, Estime, Tyree. I want Tyree out receiving passes or causing those problems as much as possible. I think that's where he's most dynamic. Put multiple of these guys out there at once in unique sets. Defense has to account for it. Who's doing what? Who's getting a handoff? Who's blocking? Who's going out for a pass? Who's blocking, then going out for a pass? All this stuff I want defenses having to worry about while I have Michael Mayer running open over the seam because they're so worried about it. All of that activity, confusion, drawing the defense's eyes to this movement, all of that provides opportunities for the wide receiver group to make plays. So everybody's got to work together here. When you have a strength, you need to use that strength to bolster other areas that aren't, and the running back group provides us that. I'm very excited to see what each of these guys could bring, and when you add all those skill sets together, how dangerous it could be. This group is a key part of making this offense work this year. With a young quarterback, wide receiver issues, rely on this group and an offensive line that I think is going to be much better than last year's right away. Rely on that to put stress on defenses and open up some other things for other people. That brings me to number 5, the wide receiver situation. Notre Dame starts camp with only 5 scholarship wide receivers. That is an absolute joke when you're the University of Notre Dame. Colsey, I need you to step up like Styles did and be that guy. You're the next one in the line. We need another one. You're a little older than some of the guys coming in. We need that from him. I'm looking at him for that. Okay? Chancey Stuckey, getting rave reviews so far. On the recruiting trail, also how he interacts with everybody. Great to see. But we got to see the results against Ohio State right away, or people are not going to care how great he was to talk to in the winter, right? That's just how it goes. So I think it's really funny to me because on one hand, I look at all that Brian Kelly and Notre Dame's accomplished the last few years, how many games we won, couple undefeated seasons, all that. and I say, damn, this program is rock solid, looking to get to the next level, breaking into elite from the ranks of the very good. On the other hand, I see some areas on the roster that are super concerning. Depth issues, maybe not depth issues, but nobody that's proven that I could trust enough. So it's a very odd dynamic because we look really, really solid overall, body of work recently, all of that. At the same time, I see some major holes that have me freaked out. How is this all going to shape up and come together? It's one big new learning experience for everybody this spring. This isn't Brian Kelly running his 40th spring practice session. This isn't that. This is new for everybody. They're navigating their way through. There's going to be a little learning curve there for Marcus and everybody else. I think, here's the thing. Marcus's learning curve as head coach, I don't know how long that's going to take. A decade, a year, I don't know when you could gauge somebody has a good feel for being a head coach. I don't know that. It might be different for every guy in every situation based on the culture where he's at, other coaches that are there with him. I don't know. Here's what I do know 100% for sure without any doubt in my mind. However long, however many years it's going to take Marcus Freeman to navigate and learn how he's most comfortable operating as head coach, delegating duties, taking on more himself, all of those big picture issues. Here's the one thing that ties them all together. However long that learning curve's going to take, if you recruit well and elitely and get talent and stack it on top of talent and stack it on top of better talent, the more you do that, the easier this transition and learning curve is and the quicker you get through it. And it's no longer learning what I'm doing mode and it's winning elitely mode. So the best thing that could happen is Marcus leveraging his personality the way he has been to continue to recruit at an elite level. The more he could do that while learning the on-the-field practical stuff on the fly, the better off we're all going to be. It's going to make Marcus's life way easier, navigating the practical issues he has to on the field when you have elite talent helping you out there, easing you into being a head coach. Your first couple, 2-3 years, whatever. The better this staff recruits, the faster we can accelerate that timeline of getting everything implemented into this new era from the old era. So it's amazing to me. No matter what we want to talk about and target with this program, with this staff, whatever, it all ties back to talent. And this staff seems to be doing a real good job so far of accumulating it. And I go back to the example of all but one of the position players we have verbally committed for 2023 hold offers from Alabama. Nick Saban tells me we're swimming in the deep end of the talent pool. It's exactly what we need to do. And it excites me. So always keep that in mind as Marcus Freeman's performing these calibrations at his first go-round. The better he recruits, the easier this is all going to go. Okay? So those are some things I'm looking at. What do you guys think? Is there anything I didn't mention on the list that is a concern to you or you're excited about that you're focused on most this spring? Let me know. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.